We all want to be happy. And what are some practical things that we can do to cultivate happiness? When I think of the topic of happiness, there are two resources that I personally utilize that have been extremely, extremely helpful for me, and I'd strongly recommend them to you. One is a free course that you can take online from Yale University, and it's called The Science of Well-Being. And it's by Professor Laurie, Laurie Santos, Santos. It's an amazing course that shows you scientific evidence about what are the things that really contribute to happiness and what are the things that we expect will, but don't. The second resource is an author named Robert Holden, out of Great Britain. He's written a number of books on happiness, and any of his books are really, really, really good. So a couple of resources as we begin this discussion today. So where do you find happiness? Is it external? Is it internal? Do you chase it? Do you discover it? One of the problems here, and I don't mean to pick on the Americans again, but one of the problems here is the U.S. Constitution that talks about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And that kind of signals to us that in order to find happiness, we have to be chasing after it, which I think is part of the problem. Because it leads to the danger of I'll be happy when I get to that place or find that thing. So here's my first tip. Happiness is not out there. We're wasting our time because we're looking in the wrong place for happiness. It's our attitude that's the issue. My happiness is my responsibility. Now, you might think I'm blaming the victim. Not at all. But what I am saying is, if I'm unhappy, it's my responsibility to refocus. It's my responsibility to do something about it. Because it works this way. It doesn't work the other way. My happiness is my responsibility. It's not about circumstances, and it's not about someone else. There's been lots of studies that talk about as a person's wealth increases, are they happier? And what they found is, numerous studies, that certainly up until you get a basic income, the lack of wealth is a problem in terms of happiness. But once you get to the basic support income, beyond that, increase in wealth does not increase happiness. Really wealthy people are as unhappy as middle-class people. So that means we need to take ownership for our own happiness. So here's the second tip. My experience has been that you'll find happiness from gratitude. Indeed, you'll find more happiness from practicing gratitude than finding a partner or finding a new job or winning the lottery. We can train our brain to be more positive. We can express gratitude for even the smallest thing. Louise Hay used to say that you should hug your fridge. Love your fridge, hug your fridge. I thought that was really hokey. But thinking of the kitchen, here's our fridge. When you think about it, the food is kept fresh, the drinks are cold, there's ice, there's the freezer. This is an amazing gift. And there are, of course, people all over the world who don't have this kind of a luxury. And it's here, and we take it for granted. Or a microwave, when we want to cook something really, really quick. And in the old days, it'd take forever to thaw it and cook it in the stove, etc. But yet we have this convenience here. That's amazing. When I stand here and look out the window, and I see our garden and all the flowers that are growing, and even just standing here in this space, seeing so much that if I didn't take it for granted, that I could be grateful for. So happiness doesn't lead to gratitude. It's just the opposite. Practicing gratitude can lead to happiness. Whenever I'm in one of those woe is me moods, feeling overwhelmed or anxious or upset, if I just stop myself and think of what are the 10 things I'm most grateful for, it immediately shifts and I become happier. Number 3, don't compare yourself to others. The media presents us these perfect human beings with all of this wealth and everything is fine and life is wonderful, etc. And so we've used that as our standard. If you buy this book, if you buy this property, if you buy this car, if you have these clothes, if you look a certain way, then you'll be happier. So it's not if you buy this, it's if you be this. Yes, you can look at others and take delight in their success. Absolutely, celebrate with them. But don't envy and don't compare yourself or you'll always be unhappy, wanting more. Number 4, live in the moment. Now, I've talked about meditation a lot in these series, but I want to talk about something a little different, and it's mindfulness. And mindfulness is living in the moment. As detailed as being aware of your breath all the time, being aware of your walking and your surroundings all the time. Or as general as not being stuck in the past and not worrying about the future. The past regrets, the past hurts you can't change. And dwelling on them doesn't lead to happiness. Now, you can look at the past in terms of trying to learn for the future. That's fine. And you can look in the future in terms of good planning and wise decisions. That's fine. But you can't control what's going to happen. And so many circumstances will change, you probably can't even predict what's going to happen. So it's really important to live in the moment. And finally, number 5, take better care of your health. It's very challenging, not impossible, but it's very challenging to be happy when you're living in a painful situation because physically or emotionally or spiritually you haven't taken care of yourself. So I would really encourage you to invest in your happiness by investing in your well-being. I hope you found this video helpful. Encourage you to share it with family or friends. Encourage you to subscribe. And thank you.